And the game is rolling. So we are going into Game 2 of this best-of-7 series. Ganon is down 0-1 to Root Drewbie from the massively powered Team Root. Team Root obviously consisting of like players like QXC, Slush, obviously Drewbie himself. A few different, we're laughing at the chat there, is Root. Yeah, give a shout out to Root, because you guys are awesome players representing the North American scene for the most part, and just a group of really solid players, and Drewbie getting the northern spawn here on Scrap Station. The map is picked by, we have a pool of 7 maps, the loser will pick the map, so that was selected by Ganon, who is getting the eastern spawn here on Scrap Station as the green Terran, so we'll see if... Curious Scrap Station is as a pick. I don't know, maybe Ganon knows something that we don't about this map. I don't think either player has any sort of advantage. It's not, it's no player obviously in a mirror match has any sort of advantage on maps and stuff like that. So Ganon perhaps is just going to try to pull out something new here. So we're hoping for something a little new. As I mentioned, this is the second game of the grand finals of the Canadian Cup. So we are in the final match. The winner of this game will win $1,000 cash. The second place, or the person that does not win this set or this matchup, will still take home $500 cash. So not a bad place to be fighting here for. And yeah, really, really good position. Obviously, the Canada Cup is brought to you by the awesome sponsors Ccup, Sennheiser, Jinx, and A-Power, all providing the prize pool for this. And we want to send a special thanks out to all of the viewers here. I'm going to mention again on the stream because you guys are the reason this happens. I love you guys. Anybody that's just tuning in, thanks for supporting StarCraft and the community as a whole. Please continue to do that. Just watching games helps us get sponsors together. We put together a media package that goes to all the sponsors after saying how many people watched, how many people left comments, that kind of thing. So just by tuning in here, we are promoting esports. So thanks a lot for that, guys. Special thanks to DNA Internet Cafe, where we are in Richmond, British Columbia. Special thanks to them for housing us in kind of the emergency situation we were talking about in the channel there. We did have to relocate the tournament a little bit, but no issues here. DNA Internet Cafe has been awesome, and it's just been a really good place to be, actually. A really nice location. So Drewbie is going to get scouted out here by Ganon earlier on. Ganon does reach the base first, as Drewbie's trailing SCV will make it up the ramp very shortly. Ganon will have a Marine probably by the time that Drewbie gets there. Drewbie will not be able to destroy this SCV if it does not stick around, and it will not. So Drewbie does get a good look. Both players not doing anything too crazy. Obviously Drewbie looking for a missing barracks or anything like that, not really picking anything like that up. We have been going from the DNA Internet Cafe. I should have kind of segued into that. This is obviously Iced from L2SC TV. I have been joined by my co-caster and partner in crime, Bynum from L2SC TV. We've been down here for the last 9 hours, I would say, today, just getting these finals done, just casting pretty straight. And honestly, it's been really fun. Really fun. So, yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody. And Bynum, take it away.
Yeah, as we saw in the last game, Ganon versus Drewbie. We saw some great play there by Drewbie doing I don't even remember what he was doing. As I said that Ganon actually would have gotten 2-0. But anyways, that's not true. This is, of course, the only second game, as we see here. Drewbie with a fast expansion here, opposite of what Ganon was doing. And, of course, the only way that a Terran player could benefit from this map is if he was doing a Reaper glitch or something like that, as we've said in the past. But, of course, I'm pretty sure none of these players will be taking that chance, as we think that it is something that is disqualifiable offense and stuff like that. As I just invented the word, I think. I'm not sure if I even said it right. As anyways, Ganon coming in here with a starport, as he's going for the 1-1-1 build already. And interesting enough, he's going for a little bit of Drewbie action here, as he's getting a Hellion out first, as that's been pretty much the classic opener here for Drewbie for the last few games that we've seen him with him, except for that last game versus Stalife. Really, we've always seen a fast Hellion from Drewbie with a whole bunch of Marines and then a starport, and then I think after that we see a Banshee. So we already see Ganon up there with a supply depot, possibly going to scout for any sort of Banshee action ahead of time should they come in the way. But of course, Drewbie not going for any such tech right now. He is sticking right now to massive amounts of Raxes, as he only has one tech lab, and that is researching Stim right now. The rest of the Rax is just producing Marines, as that is all they can produce until they get a tech lab out. As more Marines here at the Zelnaga Watchtower for Root Drewbie. 2 Hellions here going to make short work of those Marines should they get close enough. But of course, the Marines are going to do a little bit of damage to these Hellions. But there you go, coming into the fray are those Hellions, as well as the Marines for Ganon. Ganon being very aggressive with those units. But of course, Drewbie going to be keep pumping out those Marines. Of course, going to be very weak, of course, as I said 10 times, against those Hellions. And it's all going to matter how much Ganon can micro those Hellions against those Marines and try and do as much damage as he can, especially if he can damage the economy of Drewbie. Then he can have a really nice spot there, as he is doing a drop in the main of Drewbie. Nothing too much in that drop. I think it's just a Hellion and a Marine. Yeah, there we go. Hellion and a Marine going to try and do a little bit of damage. Possibly, yeah, there we go. Doing a ton of damage, actually. Not directly damage to the SCVs, but does a lot of damage according to the mining capacity of Drewbie, as Drewbie now pretty much cut in half, as he is actually moving his units right back, as Ganon also constructing an expansion of his own stim pack. About 3/4 finished, more than 3/4 finished here for Drewbie. So as well, interestingly enough, going for a engineering bay. I wonder if he actually knows about the starport in the base of Ganon. But regardless, he is going for an engineering bay. Will have the upgrades as well, so we'll have access to the turret tech. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, I think Drewbie saw the drop and expected, obviously, a Banshee follow-up, because this was the build. So Drewbie transitioned from Hellions into a Banshee play, like 3 Banshees, Cloak, Harass. So I think Drewbie is expecting that kind of build. He does get a good scan off and does see that there is a tech lab in place. With this reduce, he's not going to be obviously building I think a blind Raven. So you can assume that a Banshee is coming out at this point. So that does give Drewbie a little bit of intel without having to scout. To note, obviously, Ganon is well behind on his expansion. Drewbie almost saturated there for a whole 3 or 4 minutes. He is going to place his turrets down and protect against a direct Banshee harass there with those turrets. Drewbie doing a good job of this fast expand 4 racks kind of strategy is very effective. On Scrap Station, as we mentioned, as it does allow you that's very protected, very secluded natural expansion, and Drewbie has taken advantage of that. I'm surprised Ganon did not. I don't know what Ganon's play was to be. With that attempted drop there, that's pretty much Ganon really tilting his hand, in my opinion, as he is dropping actually 4 Hellions. Really good position, as he did avoid most of turret fire. He is going to roast a few Marines there, but the Hellions not able to keep up and will be repelled and lost. So all of that, the medevac and the 4 Hellions will go down to Drewbie. Drewbie losing a few SCVs, a little bit of damage spread around, as well as a handful of Marines, but not enough to stop him. Drewbie's going to keep cutting down these rocks. As I was mentioning, like I said, Ganon did select this map. I don't know if he selected this just because it was just the next map he thought he wanted to play, but not really showing any use of the map, really. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to use those drops, use those Banshees to play there. So it's something that he needs to do. So Ganon is going to try to recover here. He has 1 bunker. He is going to load that up on the low ground, but he is severely behind in terms of his unit count. If we check there's 20 food difference right now, and I know a lot of it is SCV's workers. Drewbie has actually caught up, so it is actually primarily bio. Drewbie burns a stim actually to cut through these rocks, so he really wants to get to the base of Ganon. Short distance has been unlocked as Drewbie is going to work his way into Ganon's base. Ganon just has the 1 bunker. Drewbie is going to need Ganon is going to need a lot to be able to fight this off, and I don't think that he's going to be able to produce it in the time that Drewbie does when he reaches the front of his base.
Yeah, bunker wasn't in an area where SCVs would be easily accessible, so that those SCVs could repair the bunker. But there we go. Drewbie going to do a whole lot of damage here, especially with look at that choke that he's now in, that he can make sure that the SCVs have minimal damage to those units. And there we go. I don't even think he lost more than 5 units to those SCVs, as they're all going to completely wipe